This is a scene from the second volume of my forthcoming novel, Music for Three in a Time of Revolution, about the Velvet Revolution, the fall of communism in 1989 in Czechoslovakia. In this reading, we are smack in the middle of it. The passage takes place right at the end of a national work stoppage, which the democratic movement presented as a no-confidence vote in the communist government. That movement and the government were engaged in a media war, and because the party had successfully courted the proletariat for 40 years, the outcome was uncertain. The main character, Katherine, is a young American who has been teaching at a local high school, and she's made the morning lesson a fun project of translating revolutionary slogans into English. When she encounters her students in this scene, that's what you'll hear a reference to. The other thing to say is that Katherine's parents fled Prague 40 years earlier after the communist coup d'etat. So this is a very emotional moment for her. The passage mixes political activity with inner reflection. The sirens loose at noon and the bells of the churches ring, filling the city with sound. Motorists honk, keys jangle, and hundreds of thousands chant themselves hoarse. On the surface, in Prague at least, the strike does seem an overwhelming success. Many linger in the square after 2 o'clock, with serious talk punctuated by slogans and laughter. Through the little clusters weaves a group of familiar faces from the second-hour class. Miss Angelis, they shout. We've put the fence post in the basket. They all erupt in hilarious laughter, striding on. And this was great fun, wasn't it? Maria calls back. See you tomorrow, Miss Angelis. The euphoria is like nothing Katherine has ever known. The crowds begin to dissipate, and she continues towards the old town square. The sight of the Jan Hus monument draws her to the other side. There, among the citations inscribed on its base, she reads again the prophetic hope Comenius wrote in exile 300 years earlier, the dream becoming real before their very eyes. I believe that after the storms of wrath have ceased, the governance of your affairs will return to you, O Czech people. A very old dream. If only my grandparents could have lived to see this. I heard these words for the very first time when Grandpa described how Tomáš Masaryk, just returned from exile himself, just elected president, cited them in his opening address to the first parliament of the new nation. Papa, his eyes moist at the mention of these words. If only Mama could believe that this time governance will remain in the hands of the people. If only we could persuade her that it will be safe to come back. Katherine leaves the statue and walks on, heading instinctively towards the river, like the September day that she arrived. Just 15 months ago. 15 months which seem like decades. But that moment, contemplating the Charles Bridge, St. Nicholas Church, and the castle, all in one glance, remains as vivid as though it occurred yesterday. And then, as she approaches the philosophical faculty, that memory drops away before a large white banner at the entrance to the underground that brings her up short. It carries a slogan which resonates through the nation's recent past and her own, like nothing she has seen during the entire revolution. She stands gazing at it, thinking of her parents grieving in that dim room in August 1968. Of Vlasta, this is my country. I could never leave it. Of Sharka, I began to see my personal tragedy differently. Of Michal, eyes glinting, an anti-Bolshevik march to end anti-Bolshevik marches. The banner reads, "We, the students of '68, have beautiful and courageous children."